What is up, guys? It's the John Gaz. I'm coming at you today with the return of one of my favorite series I've ever done, Secrets of Cinema. If you're a new subscriber and are not familiar with this series because I haven't done it in a while, basically all I do is I read to you fun facts about some of your favorite childhood movies. At least so far all it's been is childhood movies, but we can kind of go into a broader range if you guys wish. Anyway, the movie I decided to do today is The Emperor's New Groove. Now, the original plot of The Emperor's New Groove was actually a lot different from what it ended up being. The original title for the movie was called Empire of the Sun, and it was originally about an Incan emperor named Manco, still voiced by David Spade, who switches places with a nearly identical peasant. The peasant's name was still Pacha, but as opposed to being voiced by John Goodman, it was originally going to be voiced by Owen Wilson. After Yzma found out, who by the way's original design was to be that more of a witch doctor as opposed to a mad scientist, she turned Emperor Manco into a non-talking llama. She also planned on somehow getting rid of the sun because it gave her wrinkles and turned her ugly. Audiences didn't really like this plot, and even though the film was originally planned to be as big and epic as Lion King, it sort of fell flat on its face. I'm not really sure how Yzma directly fits into the plot with Manco and Pacha, to be honest. From this basic description, it kind of seems like those are two separate plots that they just tried to tie together for some reason. Since the film's original name was The Empire of the Sun, maybe the sun played a huge role and Yzma wanting to get rid of it would lead to troubles with the Emperor. That's just me theorizing, but let me tell you, I am very happy that they decided not to go with that plot. While he was still a non-talking llama, Emperor Manco was supposed to fall in love with a llama farmer named Nina. Nina's role was eventually cut out of the film entirely. The singer Sting was originally supposed to sing the song from the opening credits, A Perfect World, but he felt like his voice was a little bit too old to be performing it, so they chose singer Tom Jones instead. Despite him actually being 11 years older than Sting, his voice did apparently sound younger. Sting does still sing the Perfect World song in the closing credits of the movie. Sting's wife also made an unreleased documentary about the film, which you should be able to find online, called The Sweatbox. The animators of the film decided that Yzma should primarily wear purple because they thought that that is the color most associated with madness. Barbra Streisand was also supposed to be the original voice of Yzma, but at the last minute they decided to go with Eartha Kitt. You may remember at the end of the movie, Yzma actually turns into a fluffy little purple cat and looks adorable. This is actually a small reference to Eartha Kitt's role as Catwoman in the 60s version of Batman. Pacha, the farmer who ends up with Llama Kuzco on his cart, was originally supposed to be a character voiced by Owen Wilson, as I said before, then voiced by John Goodman. And his wife Chicha is actually the first Disney animated character to appear in a movie while pregnant. The voice for Kuzco, David Spade, was actually in his mid-30s when playing Kuzco, despite Kuzco only being 17 or 18 years old. And the final bit of trivia I'm going to share with you guys, the original ending for Emperor's New Groove was quite a bit different. If you remember, in the beginning of the movie, Emperor Kuzco was talking to Pacha saying, "Hey man, I'm gonna tear down your house and everybody who lives on that hill, and I'm gonna have my summer home there with a huge water slide." Pacha's all like, "Nah man, please don't do that," and Emperor's like, "Sorry, I'm going to." Even though in the final version of the movie, Kuzco only ends up building a small summer home that looks a little bit more like a hut and kind of goes along better with the peasant way of life, the original ending had Kuzco building that giant summer home, only instead it was next to Pacha's house instead of tearing his house down. However, before it was actually decided on, Sting sent a very concerned note to the producer saying that him building the summer home next to the house doesn't really show the audience that Kuzco's learned his lesson. So they went with him building a little mini house, and I think it turned out pretty awesome. And that is it. That is all I have to share with you about The Emperor's New Groove. I will provide you a link to the fun facts that I found in the description below. And if there's any more trivia that you guys want to share, feel free to comment in the comment section down below, along with recommendations of what movie I should talk about next. Now, as for the rest of the social networking stuff, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, where I post regular updates about this video making process, my life, happenings and pretty hilarious jokes, at least in my opinion. A lot of you guys have been following me lately on that, so that's awesome. Like my Facebook fan page where you can write posts to me or send me messages with recommendations of series, theories, maybe tell me your own theories that you've come up with that I can share for everybody. Of course, if I choose your theory, I will give you a shout out. And follow me on Instagram because some of the pictures I post have actually been compared to the paintings of Leonardo da Vinci. Links to all that stuff in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Stay beautiful, stay awesome, and stay fresh.